a hugely significant find on day 16 of the search and recovery efforts. It's been more than 2 weeks now since Flight 8501 went down in the Java Sea. What we are hearing coming from the chief investigator of the NTSC, that is the transportation body that will investigate what happened to the flight and eventually determine the outcome or the cause of this crash. His name is Mr. Margiono. He is saying, as you mentioned, the flight data recorder has been found and retrieved from the Java Sea. Of course, that is where all of the information about the aircraft's movements, things like airspeed, altitude, the temperature even in the cabin, all of those parameters recorded some multiple times a second on this black box, on this flight data recorder. And the hope now, of course, to get that to shore here in Jakarta as soon as possible and begin the process of downloading the data to find out what's happened.
And David, you mentioned those pings, and we've been reporting on them for a couple of days now. Can we assume those pings are related to this particular data recorder, or is it still possible that there are pings there that may lead the search teams to the other black box?
Certainly a possibility at this point, and one search and rescue teams will continue to investigate. Rosemary, we heard from the search and rescue chief late last night on Sunday night saying that the signal they were looking at and kind of focusing in on was about 3.5 kilometers from the tail. You'll, of course, remember the incredible pictures of the tail being pulled out of the water a couple of days ago. So the signal they were focusing on, and we believe the one that they have pulled out, about 3.5 kilometers away. Quite some distance if that, because that flight data recorder would have been in that tail section before the plane went down. In terms of other signals, I can imagine at this point that they will continue to pursue every lead they can and try and find that cockpit voice recorder. Of course, the flight data recorder, a huge find for authorities at this point, and I can imagine quite a sigh of relief that they are certainly on the right track and continuing to make headway in solving what happened to Flight 8501.